Well, it is that time of the year again. West Indies to take on England in a three-match ODI series 2023. Now, before we get into the stats preview, first thing we have to do is do a little stats review. A stats review of the last time these two teams would have met. So the last time these two teams would have met was in 2019 when West Indies managed to draw the series with England, because many persons are not expecting a draw between West Indies and England, but we managed to draw. So first thing, let's look at the squad from 2019. So first we had Chris Gale, John Campbell, Shea Hope, Darren Bravo, Hit Meyer, Jason Holder, Carlos Brathwaite, Ashley Nurse, Devindra Bishu, Sheldon Cottrell, O'Shane Thomas, Nicholas Puran, Andre Russell, Fabian Allen, and Kimo Paul. So there are only three survivors from that squad, which is Shea Hope, Hitmeyer, and O'Shane Thomas. So those three, with their experience having played against England in Barbados, they should be relatively comfy against this new look kinda ish England team coming to the Caribbean. So, and they probably will have to play a pivotal part given that they faced England in the Caribbean last time around. But we managed to draw that series, and now the current squad now, Shea Hope now taking over as captain, Casey Carty, Shane Dowridge, Hitmeyer, who was there last time around, Brandon King, Keon Otley, Shafane Rutherford, Alec Athanas, Rustin Chase, Alzari Joseph, Yannick Carrier, Matthew Ford, Gudakesh Moti, O'Shane Thomas, and Romario Shepherd. Now, last time around, the leading wicket takers were Adil Rashid and O'Shane Thomas. O'Shane Thomas still here around this season, so we should be expecting him to really dominate now, because last time around he was here, so he understands playing against England in the Caribbean what to expect. Some experience there. So Thomas last time around was our leading wicket taker. Leading run scorer was, guess who? The universe boss. We no longer have the universe boss. We now have Shea Hope. So just to present it on screen right here, this was the last time we were here for the five-match ODI series. The leading run scorer was Chris Gale. And next in line for West Indies was Shimron Hetmeyer. So Hetmeyer's experience may come to the fore. Shea Hope was all the way down at 9. And look after Shimron Hetmeyer, Darren Bravo, the man who West Indies didn't select surprisingly for this ODI series. But yeah, Hetmeyer is now going to have to take over the mantle with Shea Hope. Those two will have to play a pivotal role with the bat for West Indies, I think. Yeah, but last time around, Chris Gale was the dominant force. Hetty, Bravo, and Hope, they all chipped in and managed to help West Indies to draw the series now. As I said, last time around, as you can see, Chris Gale was dominating, Hetmeyer next in line. But looking now at most wickets, as you can see, at the top was O'Shane Thomas, leading wicket taker for that series. Sheldon Cottrell was next in line. No Cottrell. And also, surprisingly, there's no left-arm seam in the squad. So if I'm to show you the squad, this current squad now, looking at the ESPN Cricket Info website, you notice Shea Hope, Casey Carty, Dowridge, Brandon King, Rutherford, Alec Athanas, Rustin Chase, Romario Shepherd. If you notice, we don't have any left-arm seam, and last time around, it was O'Shane Thomas and Cottrell that did the damage. So in terms of the balance of our squad, there hasn't been consistency. We had Dominic Drakes, we had Cottrell, we throw them away. And, we're still looking for that left-arm seam, which would really add the versatility to the bowling attack, because we already have the left arm spin in Gudakesh Moti. We have the right arm leg spin in terms of Yannick Carrier. So it would have been ideal to have a left arm seamer as well, but that's okay. Left arm seamer is usually there to swing the new ball, and so I guess that is now Matthew Ford's job, right? Saw a little bit of him in the Canada T20 and also in the Caribbean Premier League. And so a bit of him playing the Super 50 for the Cricket Academy, West Indies, bowling alongside Naeem Young. So I've seen a bit of Matty Ford. Looks good as well. But, still a youngster, still learning. So, yeah, it would have been nice to have a left-arm seamer in the squad. But which left-arm seamer do we have? That's it. So let's go to now conditions because the first match, as you can see, the first match will, if I click on fixtures and results, you'll see that the first match is going to take place at North Sound Antigua. And North Sound Antigua, that venue, it's okay, but typically the average score at that venue is 227 runs. 35 matches has played there. And since 2017, the average score is 255. So let's move away from the 227 because many of those games from 2010, 2011, the pitch is slightly different from how it was then. We see more runs being scored of recent times. So let's use the 255. That's the average score since 2017. 17 matches have won batting first and 17 have been won batting second. So I guess it's fair to say that batting first or batting second, it really doesn't matter when you're playing in North Sound Antigua. There's no result, and the highest successful chase there is 276 for 5. So if 276 of, by the way, that highest successful chase came against Sri Lanka in 2020, and guess who was doing the bulk of the batting? Evan Lewis with his half century, Shea Hope, and Darren Bravo, the man who West Indies sack, who really assisted us in that highest successful chase at this venue. Darren Bravo not in the team, but it's unfortunate, but that's how it is. Yeah, but the last time we chased down 276 against Sri Lanka here, yeah, those are the guys that contributed heavily. Puran, Hope, Pollard, Bravo. Those are the guys that did the heavy lifting to get us over the line. But fast forward to this squad now. Looking at the squad as we already just looked at it, we're playing a lot of batsmen and a little less all-rounders and bowlers. We only have 4 specialist bowlers: Gudakesh Moti, Azari Joseph, O'Shane Thomas, Matty Ford. And we only have 3 specialists all-rounder in Roston Chase, Yannick Carrier, and Romario Shepherd. So now the bulk of the team then in terms of difficulty in selecting for the first ODI would be the batsmen that we're going to play. So very difficult. So first thing I'll display on the screen. Of course, I'm going to edit. So I'm going to display on the screen. The last time West Indies had an ODI series, these guys were in the series: Shea Hope, Casey Carty, Hetmeyer, Brandon King, Athanas, and Shepherd. And if you look at what I present on the screen, Shea Hope, he averaged 55 in that series against India. That was the last ODI series we had. But apart from Shea Hope, plenty of concerns. Casey Carty, he had that 48 that assisted Hope to get us to a victory, but his strike rate being 70. And in the next game, he scored 6. So in 2 matches, he had 54 runs. Nothing to be happy about. Hetmeyer and Brandon King, three matches. Hetmeyer 24 runs. Brandon King 32. That's pathetic. Athanas 60 runs. He was batting at number 3, so slightly out of position. Average 20. He kind of looked okay, but then gave his wicket away a couple of times. Romario Shepherd, 3 matches, 8 runs. So again, the batting looked woeful in that series against India. And so it's very difficult to see how we're going to select our batting for this series. But if we look at Super 50, then we can say, of course, some of the guys got themselves in shape for the Super 50. Because if you look at Shea Hope, average 36 in Super 50, not as good as his usual standard. Casey Carty, average 18 in Super 50. My gosh, looking at this Carty and Hope not in the best of nick from Super 50, but we wouldn't worry about Hope given his consistency. But the highlight from Super 50 then maybe Shane Dowrich averaging 78 from 5 matches. That's good. Um, looking at average 45, that's Keon Utley, averaging 46 with a strike rate over 100, Shafin Rutherford. Alec Athanas had a good series at the top of the order, 276 runs, averaging 46, 2 scores of 50. And of course, Ruston Chase is always here or there. Ruston Chase just does just enough to remain in the squad, and Shepherd didn't play much games. So, looking at the guys who did well in the Super 50, that, Keon Utley, Ruston Chase, Shane Dowrich, and Rutherford. Rutherford is about to debut, hasn't played any ODI for West Indies, so they'll definitely only have his Super 50 to go by to determine whether he should be selected. Shane Dowrich only played at one ODI against Ireland, scored 6 runs. Keon Utley, last time he was in Bangladesh during the COVID period, he was all at sea. I remember watching us lose that 50 over series in Bangladesh, and Utley made 25 runs in 2 matches, and he didn't look like he belonged at the international level. So let's now talk about how do we select our 11 given all the stats that I just presented. Utley struggling, or players from the India series struggling. How do we go about selecting? How do we go about selecting our top order? It's very difficult because it's very difficult to go about how we're gonna. Is Super 50 enough to say the guys that did well in the Super 50 should displace the guys who didn't do so well in the India series? So, for example, are we going to open with Brandon King? Or are we going to open with Athanas? Or are we going to open with Keon Utley? So, for me, I would go with Brandon King and Athanas. We get the left-right combination there. And I think that's a good opening there. Athanas gets you a lot of starts, and we already know the quality of Brandon King. We know Shea Hope is going to bat at 4. So the question is, who is going to bat at number 3? We know West Indies don't play Hetmyer at 3. We know Dowrich is not going to bat at 3. So I guess it's Casey Carty who's going to bat at 3, and he did that for his team in the Super 50. So Casey Carty will bat at 3. And that will be our top 4. Hetmyer will have to bat at number 5. Not in the best of form, but hopefully we can see a Hetmyer that refines some form. We'd love to see that Hetmyer refines some form, because we know the importance of a Shimron Hetmyer. So yeah, Hetmyer will bat at 5. Number 6 is a difficult position. I think it's gonna go down between Ruston Chase and Shafin Rutherford. Just for the balance of the team. But in terms of power hitting, I think we lack power hitting throughout the middle and the end. So I think Rutherford might just tip Ruston Chase for the first ODI. At least the first ODI, I think Rutherford would start. At 7 should be Yannick Carrier. I think he's done enough to warrant his spot there. And then, of course, I think number 8 to 11 is kind of written in stone. Shepherd, Gudakesh Moti, Alzari, Joseph, O'Shane Thomas. Now, instead of O'Shane Thomas, we may go Matthew Ford. But I think all in all, it's Thomas and Joseph, both of them open with the new ball in Super 50 for the Leeward. So at the end of the day, I would say, why not go with that combination? But I guess Matthew Ford can displace Thomas because he swings the ball a bit. But I mean, it's going to be between Thomas and Ford. And I think number 6 is between Rutherford and Chase. So that's my starting 11. And I think if we win the toss, what should we do? I'd go 50-50 given the results. But if we bat first, we should try to keep England. We should try to make excess of 280. And I think that should be good enough. Given the stats there that 276 is the highest successfully chased. So anything above 280, can't see this hurting England team come and chase down 280, but you never know, it's England. If we chase, then we should try to restrict England to 240, 250 average first inning score. And I think we should be able to take that down to 240. I think England's bowling is not as strong as India. So, 200 might not be that difficult to chase. But before we leave now, of course, I have to state now, my player to watch out for from the Windies with the bat for this series, I'm making a bold call. It's Shimron Hetmeyer. I just think Hetmeyer holds the key to whether West Indies will get some massive targets or how we're going to go about chasing in the middle. I think Shimron Hetmeyer holds the key with the bat. In terms of with the ball, I think Yannick Carrier. Aiden Walsh Jr. was the leading wicket taker apart from Sunil Narayan, So again, England, they don't play leg spin that well. So I think Yannick Carrier, he needs to have an important series with the ball and hit an important series with the bat. I think those two are the key that will lead us to winning this ODI series comprehensively, beating England 3-0. Well, I'm over exaggerating it, but I'm hoping that we'll win the series 3-0. But it's going to be, all in all, truth be told, it's going to be a very competitive series. It's not one-sided, so I can't just, say we're going to dominate England. I think our squad, really and truly, it does have a fear factor about it when you look at it. Yes, Hetmeyer, but I mean, poor and missing. It just doesn't look threatening on paper. But I hope that the guys can just go out there, rally together, and, pull off something spectacular. As much as there's a lot of talk about Darren Bravo and he should have been in the squad and how did Dowridge get in and all of that crazy stuff, all we want to do is the squad that is there, we'll go out there and represent West Indies to the best of our ability. So let's see. We're hoping that we can win the series 3-0, but let's see. So stay tuned for more and we're just gonna post a lot of stuff. So stay tuned for more. Remember to like, to subscribe. Please subscribe and have a good night.